Okay guys, it's Katie with Begging for Balance. I thought I would make a new video on muzzle conditioning your dog. So if your dog needs to wear a muzzle for any reason, it's a good idea to condition them to love wearing it. So I have some food, just some of regular kibble. You can use really small treats if you want. And I use Baskerville muzzles. So you're going to, the first step is to feed the dog from the muzzle. And Moose has never worn a muzzle before. So he has no idea about the sensation of having that on his face. And the goal right now for step one is just to get him eating out of my hand, out of the muzzle. I'm not trying to force it onto him. I'm just trying to get him to put his face in the muzzle. And you can also start saying the word muzzle when they put their face in. Muzzle, muzzle. So you're gonna just do a lot of reps of that. You're gonna want them putting their face in, getting the food, just getting used to having their face in here. Muzzle, muzzle. Muzzle. And the next step, muzzle, muzzle. Good. So the next step is going to be saying good when the dog has their face in it. Muzzle. Good. And then once he gets really used to the idea of when I produce this basket, you put your face in, I can let him put his face in, say good, and then feed him. So it's gonna be a little different. The food is not in my hand this time. So, muzzle, good. And then I produce the food. Muzzle, good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Okay, so take your time with this as much as you can. You want to make sure that the dog is not being forced to put the muzzle on. So you are working them for their food. Maybe it's breakfast and dinner every single day that they're doing this. And for today, we might just do only him eating out of my hand like this. Muzzle. Until he really gets that. It depends on your dog. Some dogs move along more quickly, muzzle, and some are slower. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Remember, at this point, if your dog doesn't stick his nose in there, don't try to force it onto them. That's going to make them back up a step, and you don't want to do that. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Muzzle. Good. Okay, remember guys, this takes time. Don't try to rush it. You can do this every time you feed your dog. Working with them like this for their food is going to make it go much more smoothly. Don't try to rush it. Good. 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 Okay, and if your dog doesn't seem to want to keep their face in the muzzle very long, you can hold the food under it like this and let them try to get it. Good. And then pop it in there and give it to them. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Good. You can try things like peanut butter on a spoon being fed this way out of it. That's another option. Higher value treats, or just working them for every single meal so that they are only eating basically from the muzzle. Good. And I'm just like, I say good, and then I'm sort of making him work for it. This is getting him used to kind of pushing against the muzzle, and the muzzle, you know, feeling it on his face more rather than just popping his nose in there and then pulling it out. He's really having to push into the muzzle. Good. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Muzzle. Good. Good. Muzzle. Good. What I can also do is try to get him putting his nose in it at lots of different angles. So maybe the muzzle is up higher like this. Good. Muzzle. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Here you go. Good boy. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Good boy. Muzzle. Good. Good. Muzzle. Good. Here you go. Come here. Come here. So, in this process, a couple times I actually dropped the basket and it freaked him out. So he's a little cautious about the basket and about this fabric and stuff. So I went back to just feeding, you know, just putting food in there, basically getting him eating out of it in my hand like this. And now I'm gonna start something where I'm moving the strap over his head, say good, while he's eating, basically. Because I want him busy eating out of here while I'm just moving the strap. Good. Good. So that he gets used to the sensation of my hand moving around his ears while the basket is on his face. Good. So putting a few kibbles in my hand, letting him eat it. Good. 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 You can also kind of get them used to like touching their ears, collar, things like this while they're eating out of it. Because that will be the next step, is being able to buckle the clip. And so I want to be able to practice that a little bit now. Good. 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 Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Good. Muzzle. Moose, muzzle. Good. 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 Moose, muzzle. Good. 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 Moose, muzzle. Moose, muzzle. Good. 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 Breathe. Moose. Muzzle. Good. 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 Break. Good boy. Muzzle. Moose. Muzzle. Good. 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 Break. Moose. Moose. Muzzle. Good. 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 Break. Good. 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 Break. Muzzle. Moose. Muzzle. Good. 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 Break. So guys, I'm just doing different things kind of specifically for this dog. He was nervous about the straps around his head. He was nervous about the muzzle falling off. So I just buckled the muzzle and then taught him to stick his whole head in, muzzle, good, like this. And then I continue to say good, good, good. And then I say break. And then I give him the reward. I'm kind of extending it just little by little, muzzle, good, good. I can buckle and unbuckle it, good, good, good. Break. And we're already like probably 4 or 5 days into this now. So it takes time. It's not something that happens day one right away with every dog. So muzzle, good, 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 good. And then I can also feed him, good. I can feed him while it's on, because when I start extending it even longer, I want to be able to move him and give him food with it on. Good, good, good. Did you get it? No. Here, Moose. I don't want him to, no, here you go. I don't want him to start fighting it. So it's really important, break, that you release them before they start fighting it. So take it off before they start fighting it. And if you are anticipating that they might be starting to get a little uncomfortable, start feeding again or get them moving. That'll be the next step, is like moving him and having him wear it longer and longer. Okay, so now I'm getting him to wear it a little longer. We can kind of like, almost like counting, maybe counting to like 30 in our head before releasing them is something you could do. Muzzle. Good. And I can repeat saying good, 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 like just so that he knows like you're still doing what I want you to. Good, 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 good boy, good boy. Come on, step forward. Good, come on. Good, 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 good. And then I'm gonna release him. Break. Muzzle. Good. 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 Good job. Good job. Muzzle. Good. 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 So you just want to keep the food coming. So right after you give one, get another one. Try to make sure that you get it in there so they can eat it. There you go. Moose. Moose, muzzle. Good. 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 Moose. Good. Hold on, here, moose. Moose. Good. Okay, so maybe this time I'm gonna feed him like, I don't know, 5 pieces or something like that, and then say break and take it off. Feed. And then we'll put it back on. Oh, drop the piece. There you go. There you go, buddy. Moose, give a boy muzzle. Good. 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 Close. So a little bit of nonsense. Close. 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 Come here. Good. Mm-hmm. Good. 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 Come on. Good. Good. And getting the food in the muzzle is kind of challenging. You almost have to like push it in the bottom. Moose. Good boy. I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing, but I'm basically pushing the food in through the bottom part of the muzzle. Like that. Good job, Moose. Get him to move around a little bit. Give him some more food. Good job. Moose. Good job. It's a weird sensation for them. They're not used to it, so you just want to make it kind of as positive as you can. Good boy. Moose. Good job. And then take it off again. Break. Okay, so at this point what I'm doing is putting the muzzle on him and then kind of food luring him forward and giving him food and continuing as we kind of move around. So I'm just trying to make like a small circle with him. If at this point your dog is starting to get a little uncomfortable with it being on and maybe trying to paw it or something like that, try something more high value. So try like peanut butter on a spoon and like leading the dog forward with it, letting them lick it as they go. It kind of keeps them busy while they're moving. And then don't forget, put the spoon down, take the muzzle off, you know, say break and then take the muzzle off so that then they can get a reward after it comes off. That is, I find that pretty helpful. Good. Go away. Right. So even this part of it, even having them eat out of the muzzle, you know, offering them food while they have it on, this is really important when I am working with the dog. So when they first come in, if they're on a muzzle and I need to work them for food, it's good for them to know how to take food out of the muzzle. It's kind of a difficult thing, but they get used to it and they get better at it. So this is accomplishing a couple things. One, the leash is on and I'm moving him on a leash with the food. Good. And he's just moving around, getting used to having it on his face. Good. Even if you just have the dog sit still and you say, good, and then feed him, and then wait a minute or two. See, he's sitting with it on his face. Good. Good. No. Most sit. Good. Most dogs know how to sit. If your dog doesn't, that's fine. But if you do know any obedience, your dog does know some, doing it with the muzzle on is good kind of practice for them to do something that they know and then start to get more comfortable wearing it and doing the things that they know. Good. 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 Just waiting, just giving it a minute or two. Good. Extending that time that he's wearing it. No. Good. 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 Okay, so another step in this is to have the dog learn how to eat out of a bowl and to drink water with the muzzle on also. So I'm just going to try and see how he does. He may struggle at first, but he'll get it. And a way that you can help them, come here, is by basically hand feeding in the bowl like this at first. So grab a handful of food. Come here, Moose. a little apprehensive about eating out of the bowl with the muzzle on. Dogs are weird. He's just not used to the sensation, things like that. So what I'm gonna do is use some peanut butter. Peanut butter really gets the dogs licking, and it also really distracts them. So if you have a dog really struggling with the muzzle conditioning, you can do peanut butter and it will help them to really focus on that rather than you can also use cream cheese, things like that. They have like spray cheese for dogs, whatever. Anything that's sticky. There we go. It's kind of messy, but it works really well. So you can see he's super busy with the licking it, not paying attention to the fact that the muzzle is on his face necessarily. So I'm just going to put some peanut butter on some of the food in here, make it a little more enticing. And you can hold the bowl for them. Sometimes that helps to be able to bring it up to them a little bit more. This is good. Also learning how to eat off the floor. Good. You want them to be able to drink water. So you don't have to have a bucket like this. A large bowl will work just fine. Basically, they will get the idea. Good boy.